Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, A&N's top sport plane for 2018 named. New iFly indoor skydiving facility coming to North Florida. And NASA considers selling naming rights on rockets and spacecraft. Hello, I'm Laura Hudson. It's September 14th, and this is Airborne Unlimited. A&N's annual report on the best values in the sport plane market remains one of our most interesting and difficult efforts of the year, especially in a year where a number of aircraft have really started hitting their stride. While the announcement of our master list of over a dozen recommended sport planes is still a few weeks off, one new aircraft has easily risen to the top of the list, reserved for new offerings in the very competitive sport aviation landscape. This year, the best new sport plane is the Airplane Factory's Rotax 915 powered Sling TSi. A reasonably aggressive test flight at the close of AirVenture 2018 proved that this four-place kit aircraft is more than a pretty face. While the 141 horsepower Rotax drove the bird along quite handily between 2,500 and 4,500 AGL, at rough cruise speeds exceeding 135 to 140 knots. And while our test bird had all but a handful of hours on it at the time, the experience already showed off enhanced efforts in stability and control, solid cockpit ergonomics, and delightful handling that made this tri-geared low-winger a serious ball to fly. Most important though, this is a four-seater that offers unparalleled operating and ownership economics that maximizes one's hard-earned flight money, and as a result has earned our recommendation as 2018's best new sport plane. More information and a more extensive test flight analysis to follow. After the break, ALPA unveils plan to keep pilot supply strong.
The dream is real, a truly affordable personal jet aircraft. The Subsonics Personal Jet Kit is priced at only $42,000. Kit plus engine is still under $100K. Add instruments, upholstery, and paint and you're flying. It's time to put your money where your bucket list is. Learn more at sonicsaircraft.com.
Welcome back. If you have a story suggestion for Airborne Unlimited, Aero-TV, Airborne Unmanned, the AMA Drone Report, our website or podcast, just email to news-by@aero-news.net. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. In a letter sent to SecTrans Elaine Chow, ALPA has offered policy solutions to inspire young people to become airline pilots and provide air service to small and rural communities while maintaining the extraordinary level of aviation safety that U.S. passengers and shippers expect and demand. The union's plan to address pilot supply includes key policy actions to make it easier for veterans to become pilots, encourage more women to become pilots, ensure more students can afford to become pilots, and inspire the next generation to become pilots. The Colorado Springs City Council got some bad news from Aviation Director Greg Phillips about repairs that are underway at the Colorado Springs Airport. They're going to have to come up with another $2.5 million, boosting the cost of repairs to $7 million. The airport was damaged in April when roofers using propane torches to repair hail and wind damage on the terminal ignited a 3-alarm fire. The airport was temporarily closed due to the damage. Now in its 4th year, Girls in Aviation Day is designed to introduce and educate girls 8 to 17 years of age on the many career choices and lifestyle possibilities offered by the aviation and aerospace industry. In addition to over 50 Girls in Aviation events which will be presented here in the U.S., chapters in WAI's network will ensure Girls in Aviation Day is celebrated around the globe. Last year, an estimated 9,700 girls participated in 74 separate events worldwide. U.S. Senator Susan Collins, the chair of the Transportation Appropriations Subcommittee, has confirmed that Brunswick Executive Airport will receive a total of $6,215,820 for infrastructure improvements. The funding was awarded through the FAA's Airport Improvement Program, which sets aside funding for the Military Airport Program. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. A&N's Jim Campbell got a personal tour of iFly's soon-to-be latest indoor skydiving facility, now under construction off Interstate 295 in Jacksonville, Florida. It is one of a number of such attractions in operation all over the world. All the rage among skydive aficionados who used to have to log freefall maneuver practice time in 20 to 60 second sessions. The development of these next-generation indoor vertical wind tunnels has revolutionized competitive skydiving to allow longer pseudo-freefall sessions, as well as providing the public a truly safe and virtually risk-free chance to get a freefall-like experience. A vertical wind tunnel has fans at the top to draw air through the flight chamber and then push it back down the sides through the return air towers. That leads to the inlet contractor that compresses and speeds up the air before it re-enters the flight chamber. The result is a smooth column of air that enables you to fly. The technology for the 7th generation indoor skydiving facility is pretty impressive and anything but cheap. A multi-million-dollar effort, the iFly system uses massive electric fans to drive temperature and pressure-controlled air through the wide vertical tube that provides the simulated freefall environment. The new Jacksonville location should open this November, and Jim, a veteran of over 3,000 skydives, promises to give it a test flight or two. After these messages, NASA considers selling naming rights on rockets and spacecraft.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Welcome back. NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine is reportedly considering allowing companies to buy naming rights to rockets and other spacecraft in an effort to boost the agency's brand. At a recent meeting at the NASA Advisory Council, Bridenstine announced the formation of a committee to look at what he called provocative questions related to placing corporate logs on spacecraft. Is it possible for NASA to offset some of its costs by selling the naming rights to its spacecraft or the naming rights to its rockets? Bridenstine said. I'm telling you, there is interest in that right now. The question is it possible? The answer is, I don't know, but we want somebody to give us advice on whether it is. Bridenstine also said he'd like to see astronauts be more accessible to journalists and perhaps even participate in marketing opportunities. NASA has traditionally kept any branding at arm's length, even calling the M&Ms enjoyed by astronauts in space candy-coated chocolates. The idea is not being universally welcomed. Former astronaut Scott Kelly said it would be a dramatic shift in the rules that prohibit government officials from using their office for private gain. Another former astronaut, Michael Lopez Alegria, said NASA could end up competing against the commercial space industry. Well, that's our program for today. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, alternating with Airborne Unmanned on Tuesday and the AMA Drone Report each Thursday. Additional breaking news bulletins may be posted for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and do check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday.